Hey, welcome back, everybody. It feels like it's been so long, but it's time for another pickups video. This is technically a pickups video for August, but today's September 2nd, and I actually bought most of these things yesterday because we're having a big sale. So it was one thing that I was already kind of holding off on a lot of stuff because, money. And then, we were having the sale, and I knew that I was going to get a couple things, so yesterday hits, and I didn't go like insane or anything like that, but I did grab a couple things, and that probably won't be all that I get this month, considering that it's a month-long sale. So come to Core Gaming, just shop around, all the games, all the pops, all the card singles. It's all on sale. Buy two get a third free. So there's my mandatory plug. I'm going to start with not a game but a controller. This is one of the few things that I did really highly anticipate coming out last month. This is the Retro Fighters Defender in classic gray PS1 colors. This controller works for PS1, PS2, PS3, just with no motion controls, but that's fine. It works for most USB, like Switch and stuff, and it works for PlayStation Classic, which is a huge plus. This, I'm hoping to kind of make my go-to controller, because it's super comfortable, charges with the USB-C, which is nice. Standard like PS2 design, but like just really, really good weight, good shell, good grip on the back here. Really, really highly recommended. I just want it to be my go-to controller. It's so easy to just charge one controller. It comes with two receivers, one for a PlayStation controller port and one for a USB, and that's all you need. I've been using it on a couple different things, trying it out. And it's really good. It's a really good controller, and I like Retro Fighters a lot, so I definitely recommend them. Only one Switch game this month. It is a big one, though. I've been really highly anticipating it. Dusk finally arrived from Limited Run. I think this pre-order was like last August, so it took a while to get here, but this game is phenomenal. I'm stuck. I haven't played it in like a week or so because I'm kind of stuck on one level in the second episode. But all I can say is that it's a boomer shooter. It's a new, very classically designed first person shooter, and it's awesome. It feels amazing. I love the aesthetic. I love the weapon selection. It feels like I love the enemies. It's just really, really good. Pick it up and play it in any way you can if you like that genre at all, like old school FPS style. It is fantastic. I'm glad that I have this on physical. And then I waited until I had this to play it. It was just a fantastic time. I've got two related games here. These are two of the last, I want to say, there's only like 3 or 4 Muppet games that I don't have. And these were two of them. And they both happened to come in to work within 2 weeks of each other, and I picked them up yesterday at the same time. We got the NES one, Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival. It's not good or anything. It's a Muppets game. It's not expensive. It's cool. And then this, I was so excited. I couldn't believe this not only came in finally, but it came in complete in box, and it's really nice. This is the Muppets for the GameBoy Color. It's nothing special. It's just it's a licensed Muppets game. Typical licensed side scroller. Nothing amazing. It's just just for the collection. I still need the Muppet pinball game for the Game Boy Advance. That's the main one that I don't have, because it is both Muppets and pinball, but it's a little hard to find, so just sit and wait patiently for it. But I got a Dreamcast, new Dreamcast homebrew release. This is Postal for the Dreamcast. The original, very controversial. This is not a first-person shooter like later games in the Postal series are, but it's more like a top-down, free adventure. It's got twin stick compatibility on this if you have particular controllers, which is cool. But still the very very violent and very edgy, topical. But it's a very important game, and I do enjoy that it's been made compatible for Dreamcast. That's very cool. It's mostly the only way I'm gonna get new Dreamcast games at this point is that more and more homebrews and ports, homemade ports are coming out for it, because it's either too expensive or it's just not that exciting for me for most Dreamcast stuff. Although finally do want to get, like, Soul Reaver. Like, haven't been able to get into those, really, but I feel like I should have it. But that's beside the point. Mostly, anything that comes to me for Dreamcast is probably going to be something like that. We've got one PC game here. This is Blade Runner. This is a 3D, like, point-and-clicky adventure game, actually made by Westwood, and this is from, like, 25 years ago or so. But it actually just got, like, a port of on, like, limited run for, like, Switch and stuff. But I was like, I don't really want that. I don't think that's necessary. It's just the 90s game. Like, probably looks a little nicer and everything, but just grab this instead. It wasn't too expensive or anything like that, so cool. I like it. It is really interesting that it's made by Westwood. I thought that was cool. We got 2 PS1 games here. I just hadn't... Oh, wait. Fuck, it's like the last one I forgot to get. I should have 2 pinball games in front of me. Patriotic Pinball and also the last Pro Pinball game, Timeshock. Shit, I knew I forgot something. But yeah, more pinball games. They're not expensive. Timeshock is actually the more expensive one out of that whole 4-game series. I guess they didn't make that many of them. And also, this goes with another game that I have here, but this is just a not too great looking copy, but it's Ridge Racer for the PS1. You probably saw me maybe a couple months ago. I was playing Ridge Racer 64, and I realized I actually really like Ridge Racer. I never played it before. I never thought twice about it, really. But when I picked it up on 64, I was able to just get really into it. I liked the feel, I liked the cars, I liked, just the whole general way that the game felt, so I did really enjoy it, and I was like, I have to, try some more of this. I had, for a long time, kind of written off Ridge Racer as being like, oh, it's just a really, not too special racing game, but Namco makes them to kind of be like a Pilot Wings for their consoles, and it's weird that there's a 64 one, but it was like an afterthought, like partial port from the PS1 days, but no, it's got its own mechanics, it's got its own style. A lot of times graphically it is showing off the consoles, but yeah, it is cool. I'm looking forward to playing something else in the series on the PS Classic with Type 4, with another game I have here, trying this one out. I'd like to pick up probably the PSP one or the Vita one or the 3DS one. That would be cool. But it's really, really solid racing games. They're very nice. With that, I guess I'll get into the PS3 because they did get Ridge Racer 7. Oh my god, that is a bright cover reflecting some light here. Ridge Racer 7. This was a really, I think, launch title, if not really early title for the PS3, so wanted to get another console one from later on. The only other one that I have is Ridge Racer Unbounded for the 360, which I never played anyway. And I only got that one because it was like, oh, destruction stuff. It wasn't like a proper Ridge Racer so much. And then speaking of driving games, Driver San Francisco, also very bright. Lots of white on this cover. Driver San Francisco, it feels stupid because I've never actually played a driver game past the first one. And most of that you get tired from the tutorial, so I haven't even played that much of it. But I am really interested in the Driver series just constantly failing to be Grand Theft Auto, or it's having Grand Theft Auto steal its lunch money all the time. So this has just... It's supposed to be really good, though. It's definitely like a cult favorite. And I had kind of assumed that I wasn't going to end up getting it because the 360 one with its backwards compatibility has gotten really expensive, and I was concerned that this one had as well. And it really hasn't, so I was quick to jump on this one when I finally saw it for PS3. It doesn't matter to me. It's not like it's a bad version or anything like that. But it doesn't come out on digital platforms anymore. It's been pulled because it has a lot of licensed music, which is, always a big problem for games getting, maintaining their place on digital marketplaces and whatnot. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this one, actually, and I'd like to try some of the other ones in the series that maybe are kind of up and down. Stuff like Driver 3, which is its own big old mess. But yeah, that's a game I've been thinking about for a long time. I never was going to go out of my way for it, but I've always kind of been like, I have most of the other Driver games, should play them, but I've never played most Grand Theft Autos for more than, a couple hours, so. 2 of these are kind of related, even though they're on different systems. I had never bothered to pick up the Pirates of the Caribbean games for anything because one, I never heard that they were like amazing or anything like that. They're pretty middling, but um, there's these two. I also had assumed for a long time that these were more or less the same game, and they are not. They're actually completely different games. And more interesting to me is actually this one here, the Pirates for the Xbox, and also it's on PC. They're both published by Bethesda, which is a big reason why I thought they were pretty much the same, but they're like I said, they're totally not. This is more like a game that was made to be a pirate game and then had the license put on it afterwards, and so it's got its own stuff going on. It's got like role playing, exploration, stuff like that. I'm definitely really interested to see like what this does, and because I really just love pirate games, especially. I've had Pirates on the brain since Our Flag Means Death dropped earlier this year. It's a fantastic show. You should go watch it. And then there's the other one here. This is the PS2 Legend of Jack Sparrow, which is more based on the movies. It's got Johnny Depp in it. And that's kind of the part that would have turned me off, is that like I don't really care about the like kind of hard to get through character of Jack Sparrow at this point. I just don't like that as much as I like 90% of other pirate media at this point. So yeah, I'm definitely like I would play this. This is more of like a what you'd expect from a typical action licensed title, I guess. You get to be Jack Sparrow and fuck is his name? Will Turner and Elizabeth. And yeah, I just like picked up both of them because they're pirate stuff, and this isn't directly based on the movie. It's based on the character. So you play as the characters, but it's not a complete movie tie-in. So that'll be interesting to see what this is. Like I said, I'm actually way more interested in that other one because it's like there's no Johnny Depp in it. There's no nothing like that. It's just they got the Disney license on there just to say, sell it a little bit better. And then nothing special here, just NFL GameDay 2004. I'd always see this one with LaDainian on it, LaDainian Tomlinson on it, and be like, oh, that looks, I'd be interested in that one. Of course, the year before was Tom Brady was on it, and I've had that for forever now. But yeah, just pick this up for, just to add another one in. I've got, surprisingly enough, I've got not only an Xbox game, but an Xbox Series X game, technically, if you want to, be specific about the labeling. But this is Demon Turf. Demon Turf is a 3D collectathon style platformer that is getting released on all three current consoles, Switch, PS4 or PS5 rather, and Xbox Series X/1. But the other two versions of it are limited run, and they don't care about the Xbox, even though they're starting to get into Xbox games with Doom 64 they have coming out. But they were just like, oh, we don't care about this, so Nighthawk grabbed it, and you can get this for $25 on Amazon, and yep, just to have it be physical. It's actually made by Platonic Friends, which I guess is like an offshoot of Platonic, who make ukulele. I don't know the extent of their like licensing or what comes under that brand, but it's cool though. I'm anytime you see a 3D old school style collectathon platformer, I'm into it, so that's good. Two PS5 games, both shooty boys here. One of them I had kind of like when they said it was coming out, I wasn't really that excited about it. I was like, oh, that's cool that it's a big, first party new IP and everything, but it doesn't seem like my style. But I've seen a little bit of gameplay, and it really does seem like something I would enjoy. And I've basically just been waiting for it to go down to below $20, which is what I got it for. Returnal it's somewhat of a roguelike. But it is a roguelike shooter. That's what kind of turned me off of it, but it just looks so like good production values and just like really, really good combat and everything, like a little bit more in depth than just like a lot of roguelikes that don't really hold my attention. So I'd like to really get into this. I think what's interesting about this is that if I remember correctly, they were only going this development studio was only going for like a $20-$30 like digital game, and Sony saw what they were working on and gave them a bigger budget. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's what I heard. So they got a full price, like $70 PS5 game out of what they were originally making. So that's pretty cool. And then this is really nothing special either. It's Aliens and it's a PS5 something or other. It's a horde shooter, which I think a lot of people are trying to cash in on nowadays. But it's Aliens themed and it's already pretty cheap. It's okay from what I've heard. I just wanted to grab it because just to have another Aliens game after that that kick that I was on of Aliens a while ago. And then I've got, to round us out, 3 PS4 titles. This is Mafia Definitive Edition. I have not actually played any of the Mafia games yet, but I really, really should. Especially, it's not in the same time period or setting at all, but I'm watching The Sopranos again, and I'm like, oh my god, remember The Sopranos? It was so amazing, and oh yeah, I can't believe I only watched it through once. So I'm in that like mindset of like, the organized crime stuff. So Mafia Definitive, I figured to get it on PS4 and have that at my fingertips. So I've got all 3 of them now. Definitive Edition, Mafia 2 on a 3-pack for the 360 from 2K, and Mafia 3 I think I have on PS4 as well. And I should play one. I really should. We've got Life is Strange True Colors. The only one of this series that I haven't played yet is Life is Strange 2. But based on the Arcadia Bay ones, which are getting a new package re-release, I really, really like Life is Strange. I think it's amazing. So it really, really gets me emotionally and story-wise all the time. And so I thought this looked good. I waited a good amount. I said, you know what, I'll pick this up. It's like $25 now. It is the PS4 copy, but you get PS5. And it's going to be whatever system I play it on, or version I play, but it'll be fine, I'm sure. And then lastly, this is Darkwood. This is actually a older limited run release. This is a top-down horror adventure that they're really serious about it being like, about like environmental storytelling and stuff like that. Avalanche Reviews, who I've been talking about recently and watching a lot of his videos, he talked about this and he was really gushing about it. So we actually had a copy of this at work and it was there for a long time, and I was like, I really should pick that game up. I haven't really looked into it because it was like an older limited run release and it was going for like, more like $60, and I'm like, I never want to do that. I never want to pick up those games after the fact because they're very, very cheap digital games and I'm paying like double the price that the pre-order price was. But this seems like one that I'd really like to have and would enjoy. So I'll have to get to that sooner rather than later, especially with October coming up. I think that's going to be on the short list, really, for spooky October games. But that's it. That's it for this month. We'll see what happens this coming month with there being an entire sale that's still going. But I've gotten most of the stuff that I had my eye on anyway. And today I'll be playing more Pokemon Stadium. That's why I got this hat on today. And I'll be playing the proper game, Pokemon Stadium, not just the mini games. And cool. I'll be on that in a couple minutes. Thanks, and I'll see you. Bye-bye.